Hello, welcome to Dan's show on the tube. I'm Dan, and we're going to be doing our Raw review for December 16th, 2024. CM Punk come out to start the show, and he cut a promo on Seth Rollins. Seth showed up in the crowd and said he wanted to get a different perspective of CM Punk, seeing him from the crowd. He eventually worked his way out of the crowd, and a fight began with CM Punk and him. They fought all through the crowd. They fought through the ring, into the ring, and finally they got separated. This match is going to be a war. I think they're taking two of their most popular stars and having them clash, and I think it's going to split the crowd quite evenly. I personally don't have a preference in this match. I like both guys. I love both characters. I like their ring work. I like their mic work. I think they're two of the best talents in the world right now. So I'm really looking forward to this match. Next up, Judgment Day was shown discussing their matches from Saturday night's main event, and their matches tonight with War Raiders, and Raquel is in the Intercontinental title tournament. Judgment Day are some of the top heels in the company. I like their work backstage on the mic. I like some of what they do in the ring. I'm hoping that they get obliterated, though, tonight in their matches, and really looking forward to seeing them lose all their championships soon. Next up, Triple H revealed the new logo for Raw on Netflix. Not much different than any other Raw logo. I don't generally watch a show based on a logo. I guess it's okay. Hopefully Netflix does as well as it's looking like it's going to. Next, we see Adam Pearce backstage with Seth Rollins arguing. And Seth more or less told Adam Pearce to do his job. Adam Pearce walked off, and Drew McIntyre started an argument with him about the bloodline. And Seth said that the jury was out on if he had any kind of respect for Drew, and that he was going to do the one thing Drew couldn't, which was end CM Punk. Next up, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods were walking to the locker room. They opened the locker room door. Rey Mysterio come out and politely kicked them out of the locker room. That he said what they did to Big E was out of bounds, and they weren't welcome in the locker room. Next up, they showed highlights of the match between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens from Saturday night's main event, and the attack afterwards when Kevin Owens hit a package pile driver on Cody that caused Cody to be stretchered to the back. They got well over 43 million views on all their social media platforms for the attack and the ensuing scuffle with Triple H. Some of their view numbers are just absolutely insane. Next up, the War Raiders video aired, and they both explained that they had nearly career-ending injuries, but they were back to win the tag team titles. I hope they do. I think it'd be a great comeback story for both guys. Not to mention, there's a new baby in the War Raider family. As of 2 weeks ago, Valhalla had her son, and we're happy for the family. Next up, a couple announcements for Raw on Netflix. Roman Reigns will be fighting Solo Sikoa for the Ula Fala, which is the symbol of the tribal chief. And Adam Pearce announced CM Punk versus Seth freaking Rollins. Next up, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Dirty Dom came out to cut a promo. They were talking about how this was Liv's year, and that next year was just going to continue that trend. Well, Rhea Ripley come out and cut her off. Rhea got in her face and told her that Adam Pearce has named her the number one contender for the women's title. So that match will be occurring soon, hopefully at Raw on Netflix. I hope Rhea destroys her. Rhea's my favorite female on the entire roster, and I'd like to see her get the title back that she never technically lost. Next up, they showed Seth Rollins backstage, and it looked as if Drew McIntyre was possibly going to attack Seth Rollins, but Sami Zayn cut him off, and there was a big fight with Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre backstage. Next up, the Final Testament and Miz were talking backstage, and the Final Testament basically told Miz they owe him. It feels like the Final Testament have eventually stolen Miz. He doesn't really want to work with them anymore, but they are absolutely demanding that he does, and have booked him in a match next week versus Dexter Lumis. Miz and Dexter Lumis have a heck of a past, and I want to see Dexter destroy him, but of course I'm one of the world's biggest Wyatt Six fans, so it's not really a fair opinion. Next up, Zoe Stark versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Kayden Carter in the first round match for the women's IC title. Zoe Stark pinned Kayden Carter with a Z360. I didn't expect much out of Kayden Carter in this match, but she performed well above what expectations I had for her. And actually, it was a good little match. Next up, Elf Academy was talking to R-Truth about their commercial. R-Truth said the commercial was great. He learned a lot from it, and he said he thought Butch should have watched it, and maybe Butch wouldn't have lost so easily to R-Truth. That caused Pete Dunne to come out and threaten R-Truth, tell him not to call him that name, and basically leading to what I'm hoping is a future match again. Afterwards, American Made came out, and Chad Gable challenged Akira Tozawa after running down the Alpha Academy. Akira Tozawa is amazing in the ring. He's not very good on the mic, but I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that his English isn't so good. I'd like to see him pull the upset out and beat Chad Gable. Chad Gable's done inconsistently lately, so another loss wouldn't necessarily hurt his career. And beating Akira Tozawa doesn't do a whole bunch for it. It's not something you can hang your hat on. So I'm actually hoping Tozawa beats him. Next up, New Day was talking to Jackie Redmond about getting thrown out of the locker room, but got cut off. They panned the camera over. It showed Pure Fusion Collective celebrating after closing a road case door on Kairi Sane's hand. So Kairi Sane is most likely out of the Intercontinental title tournament next week. We'll report if there's a replacement made. Finally, there was the main event for the WWE Tag Team titles. The War Raiders versus the Judgment Day, with the Judgment Day barred from ringside. They had a pretty good match. Exchanged finishers and kickouts and false finishes. It was pretty good. And towards the end of the match, Finn Balor gave a chair to JD. JD was trying to use it. The referee stopped JD, so while JD had the referee distracted, Finn went outside the ring to grab another chair, and as he went to pull it away, it kept getting pulled back, and when they panned the camera over to see who was holding the chair, it was Damian Priest, and he pushed the chair into Finn's gut. Finn stepped into the ring and basically walked into the War Machine for the pinfall loss. So the new World Tag Team Champions on Raw are the War Raiders, and they were presented the belts to end the show. I thought that was great. It's nice to see that right now in WWE, the tag team titles are both held by tag teams. People who consistently work together in teams versus somebody thrown together or some super team that's put together to basically move a storyline, and use the belts as part of the storyline versus the championship elevating a team. That's all we have for now. I'm going to be back with an update for today on Matt Cardona, and I will also be doing a watch along of the WrestleMania 3 main event between Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan. We'll see you then. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.